Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, and welcome back to the Spark Podcast. I remain your host, Ayo Ifante, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Tatiana.
And today we have two special guests. Start with the person on my far right.
Hi, my name is Osaz, and I'm happy to be here.
All right.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tinu. I'm also happy to be here.
Wonderful. I would hope everyone's happy. You didn't say you were happy to be here.
I'm ecstatic to be here.
Do y'all believe her? Anyway, so how are you guys doing? What's new in y'all's lives?
Every day is new for me. And
How was your day today?
it was hectic, but I'm grateful that I'm here.
Okay. Anything new for you?
I'm just thinking about the year's almost over and just thinking about my goals.
You still have 4 months left.
That's a quarter.
Relax. Don't speed the year up. Why are you running?
That's just the way I am. I like to plan ahead. But I just came back from a vacation, so.
Oh, where'd you go?
I went to the Bahamas.
Nice.
Doing good, feeling good, ready to keep this conversation going.
Were you having a conversation earlier?
I mean, just having a conversation with y'all, we just going to get the ball rolling with this convo. So I'm excited.
All right, so I've already prepped you guys, but we're talking about something quite heavy today. We're talking about breakups and community. All right, so off rip, what if you feel like sharing? If you're at liberty to share, what was your worst breakup? How long was it? Like, how long was the relationship you broke up from, and how'd you get over it? That's a loaded question. So you're already smiling, so you're going first. Yeah, it's too late.
We
You've been
just
selected.
we just jumped right in.
Yeah,
I mean,
no
just
time,
like that.
No time for small talk. Let's get straight to it.
Well, for me, it was back in 2019. Oh, no, 2018, I guess. And at first, it was all sweet and wonderful,
The
beautiful.
honeymoon
and all of that.
phase.
And after a while, I started seeing the red flag, but I ignored it. And that's one of the problems that we have as single people. We see the red flags.
Who
and
is we?
Ignore. I mean, we're here. We're all single, I believe. So we always ignore the red flags, even though they're there. So I ignored it. And for me, I think there was just so much pressure coming from my family. Like, when are you going to get married? When are you going to bring the man home and everything? So as a result of that, I decided to just give it a try. And when I did, it was a disaster. And, whew, I mean, I don't think I want to share everything, but
How did you get over it? We can skip the.
I had to. Let me tell you what I did. I wrote a letter, right, with his name on it, like I was addressing him in the letter. Cursed him out, insulted him and everything.
Oh wow!
And after all of we're not for real. I wrote a letter, constructed a letter, cursed him out. I I said a lot of stuff in the letter, and then I just ripped it off and I threw it in the trash. And that
Oh,
was
you
it.
didn't send it to the person.
No.
Oh,
Just for me to feel better.
whoo! I was about
So
to say.
I didn't send it
That
to him.
sounds pretty therapeutic, actually.
Yes. And I felt better after that. But I told myself that I wasn't going to talk to him or speak to him whenever I see him anywhere. I was like, I'm not going to talk to you. I'm not going to speak to you. That's it. But guess what?
You did.
I did. Because I realized that forgiveness is not for the other person, is for me. So I had to let go at the time. When I saw him, he walked up to me and he was apologizing for all that he did to me and all of that. And I stood there and I couldn't say a word. And then I just told him, I said, you know what, I forgave you a long time ago. So you're good. He was like, are you sure? I was like, yeah, I let you go a long time ago. I had to let you go for my peace and my sanity, right? So, and that's how we got back. And we didn't get back. No.
Oh, well,
No,
I'm about to
I
say.
think- no.
We just lost the entire plot.
No. But guess what? I found my peace after that.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, note to self: write a letter. So, why didn't you give it to them?
I was angry at the time. I was very upset.
Naturally.
Very angry. And I probably would have really, really insulted him to his face if I had seen him. So the best thing for me was just to write that letter to myself. And I felt better after that.
Nice. That's a crazy way to start, but hey, if that's what you gotta do, that's what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go. I would say for me in my dating relationships, to be quite honest, I've been the one that's always done the breaking up. So
Tight.
I mean,
I can't get God if I do the God
no,
game.
no. And it's not even a defense mechanism. It's just like I may be different from a lot of people, but I just felt like if it's not God or if it's not something I'm interested in, like I think it's better for both parties just to let it go. There have been times where I've just trying to let it phase out so they'll kind of break up with me, but I'm very grateful that I've been around a lot of respectful men. It was never anything bad. I would say heartbreak has been more about, they weren't actual relationships or anything, but maybe just people I thought like, oh, this would be my person, or this, I thought we would be great, and it didn't work out. And those were my biggest heartbreaks. But everyone, I've pretty much done the breaking up in the most respectful and honorable and loving way. And for the most part, we're still able to talk to this day. So,
What's your go-to? Is it it's not me, it's you? Is it's not me, it's not you? Wow, words. It's not you, it's me? Or what's your go-to? Because I know some people are like, I can't say this to their face, or like, I have to send as a text, or some people are like, no, I would prefer to say it straight one-on-one with them.
I think in general, I'm pretty confrontational is such an aggressive word. I feel I am gifted, or I think I'm very good with communication. I usually try to I've always talked to them on the phone or in person. Keep on hitting this thing. And I just basically say where I'm at. I'm like, I don't think I want to continue, or I don't think this is the best thing for us. And then as wonderful as you are, so maybe I'm saying in an indirect way. It's not, it's not
you give them
it's me.
small compliments.
Yeah. I just said, no, like, you're wonderful and you're great. I don't think this is the best. And, I prayed about it. And you're an amazing, and I talk about all their good qualities, and you'll be better for somebody else.
You
or you'll be
blow.
blah, 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 blah. But no. And that's
Do you
it.
mean all of that?
Pardon?
Do you
Absolutely. I'm not, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, and I said, like, I've been very blessed. Like, I haven't been around a lot of jerkish people. I'm very grateful.
Nice. So we have a very, very, two different ways of going about it. Let's see who you lean more towards.
It's, for me, I mean, I had a couple of different heartbreaks, right? Or many heartbreaks. Some of them I saw it coming to an end due to infidelity, person living a different, like a double life. So, was with the person for a good period of time, and then just finding out, even though there was some suspicion there. But so when it happened, it was like, dang, so it's like a grief of just betrayal, trust broken, and then just feeling like, wow, I thought I knew you and I didn't. So that was one. But it needed to be done, and there was a sense of relief that came with it, because I knew the relationship wasn't the best at the time, and there were a lot of sacrifices that were made for this particular individual and the relationship. And so when it didn't work out, I mean, I was in my college days, so but still, it was very, very devastating. And I just remember saying, okay, God, you got me from this, but that didn't alleviate, the effects of a damaged or a broken relationship. And it was just, putting the pieces back together. This was right before I went into my senior year of college. And so this is a person I thought we were going to go the distance, and it didn't. And so wanted to just focus on graduating and being the best version of myself. And yeah, I've been doing that. So, and they, of course, regret it. But
I know that's right.
But it's one of those things. It's a lesson learned. Like, and to your point, Osas, when you were talking about red flags, and because at that time it was, I was in my early 20s and things like that, late teens, early 20s. So sometimes, as mature as I thought I was at that age, there was a lot of things that I was naive to, right? Like not picking up the red flags or paying more attention to what they did. I should have paid more attention to what they did more than what they said. And I'm a big words person. So to me, my word is my bond. But just because somebody says their word doesn't necessarily mean that they have the capacity to fulfill their word, or they're able to, or that's their true intention. And so that's something that I also had to learn and forgive. And forgiveness, I realize, is more than just one time. Because after a few years, if I remember something, I'm like, oh, that. But Lord, so it's part of the journey. It's part of the process.
So how do you manage expectations going from the place where you're getting over a heartbreak and whatnot. You've healed, right? Or you've healed. How do you manage expectations going into the next thing? Because it's like, okay, you say that you've had, pretty respectful guys. You wrote a letter where you was dealing with him, and then yours is you've taken it for what it was and moved on. How do you go into your next relationship? How do you go into the next season of things without using that as a crutch or a something to deter you, I guess is the right word to use?
I think for me at the time, I mean, it was a while ago, but I just remember I'm like, look, that was before that experience happened to me, I used to dread something like that happening, right? I used to be like, man, what if this happened? So when the worst in your mind in a relationship happened, it's kind of like, what else? I mean, I could deal with anything, right, in a relationship. Not saying that that's what I was expecting, but I wasn't as naive. I think it made me a lot wiser, a lot more intentional, a lot more just attentive to like what people aren't who they say they are. And until you kind of give that person time to prove themselves, to show their fruit, to show their character, like I really can't put all my trust into somebody that hasn't demonstrated their ability to, be trusted. So when it comes to trust, and I know I'm talking about that, it's more of like, I give people a credit, and it's up to you to maintain that credit and add to it or subtract from it. That's how I look at it. Whereas some other people may say, I don't trust anybody. And then it's up to the other person to build. But for me, it just said, hey, I go into a situation with an open mind and just observe and watch how the person moves. Does their life line up with what they say and who they say they are? And just go from there. That's how I took it.
Okay, I just want to repeat the question. Basically, how do you do after you've gone through heartbreak? How do you make sure you don't take it to the next situation? So for me, like I said, it wasn't necessarily relationships, but just things I believed in my heart or in my head. And I don't have an answer because that's something I'm still growing from and like going through and praying about. But I think like everything that Tatiana said, it's not necessarily about what people say or what people say about them. I don't care if it's your pastor, your family, or people I respect. It's really just, okay, what have I observed? What is the discernment that God has given me? What can I see? And how are they living their life? And just kind of going from there. And just realizing like, I don't know, like God mercies are new every day. I can't live in the past all the time. Like there's people who've gone through way worse than me, and there's people who are getting married at 85. So I just have to believe like there's always hope for tomorrow. I'm not trying to say, but you get the point. Like there's always something to look forward to in this life, and of course the life to come. So that's just the mentality I try to have, but it's not easy.
I beg, don't go and get married at 85.
I don't plan to, but there's nothing wrong with it as well.
All right, so
for me, right? I think I'll be very careful, and I will have to guard my heart because it's very important, and try to watch out for the red flags so I don't repeat the same mistakes. But one thing I have to keep in mind though is not to compare my previous relationship with the new one that I'm in, because it's going to affect a lot of things, right? So I have to make room for mistakes. I have to make excuses for him, right? So, but at the same time, I have to guard my heart. It's very, 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 very important to me now. So I'd rather stay single than get hurt again. You know, I'm not gonna let you put my heart in the blender and blend it a second time. No, sir. No, ma'am.
Your chop
I
breakfast,
will
not your
blend
chop
your
lunch.
heart. In full.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then after that, I'll put it in the trash.
Oh,
Yes.
Can I ask a question?
By all
Basically, Elsas, what you just said, I feel like when I talk to my friends or just anybody in general, I feel like everybody's just, it's like, it's almost, I don't know, it sounds so old, but like a game of chicken. Everyone's just playing games. It's like, I'm going to hurt you before you hurt me. I'm going to do, it's everything's preemptive or defensive or whatever. But is that really going to protect us? Is that really going to solve the problem? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you show me this, I show you that. Like, is there a way that we can still be vulnerable, innocent, you know what I mean, loving? And yes, it is, we of course we can still be hurt, but that's the best way to go about any relationship? Or do you feel like you said, like, do you think it's like at the end of the day we're just being naive and everybody, you gotta, you know what I mean, you gotta know game and just be a buck? What do you guys think? Does that make sense?
I think you have to know game regardless.
Of course.
Like, being in a relationship is a vulnerable thing.
Of course.
Like,
Yeah.
the one thing I always say is that the one thing that I don't know if someone can come back from in terms of me is if I tell you something in a very vulnerable like part of me, or in a very like serious situation, and then you use that back against me and whatnot. I'm so sorry. Not even good as gone. I'm on the next flight out.
Absolutely.
Because therefore, you just took everything and you saved it. You said, okay, you know what? This is good ammo. If I ever really need to get at the person, I know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So I think you have to know game regardless of it, because of knowing how to defend yourself, knowing how to, what to look for and everything like that. Now, I think the whole thing of I'm going to get you before you get me type of thing, or I'll break your heart before you break mine. If you go into a situation with that, your situation is not going to work out.
Right.
Because you've already gone in with, okay, this is going to end at some point. Let me just be ready to end it first. So as soon as I see the writing on the wall, it's, quick to cut it. But if you look at it like that, our relationships with Christ would be in the garbage.
Yeah.
Because if he already knows what's going to come, but yet he doesn't cut it off with us. So then why? And yes, human, the whole agape love, humans aren't necessarily capable of.
Not capable?
Some would beg to differ.
Okay.
Of displaying that, but I don't like that thing of playing the game, or like, oh, let's just see how it goes. Like, no, like if there's no intention behind it, like let's call it quits from the jump. That's how I go about it.
Your question was about if the whole game thing,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Like I feel like everybody's always just so guarded and defensive, and everyone's playing the game. But ultimately, I think it's so beautiful when I meet men who are willing to be vulnerable, willing to be hurt, willing to put themselves out there. And it's rare to find it these days. And like they would say the same thing about women. So it's just like, I get what Io was saying, but it's like, is there a way we can have a balance? Or better said, like, okay, I'm well aware of how the game works, and I'm well aware of these are the repercussions, but I'm willing to throw it all and just love lavishly. Does that make any sense? Do you think that's naive?
No, I don't think it's naive. I think when it's a very what you're asking is a layered question. It's a wonderful question, right? For me, I think of it's a risk to try to get into a relationship, right?
Huge.
I mean, it's like buyer beware, right? Because you're dealing with a person that's imperfect, that has their flaws, that has their hangups, that has their traumas and all of the things that they're bringing. And as the individual, we carry the same as well, right? And so sometimes in being in close proximity, it causes a lot of friction if the people are not aware of their own shortcomings and have kind of healed to a level that can sustain a committed relationship. And so before anybody would, I mean, since we are a Christian group, you know, entering into a relationship, you got to really be reflective and prayerful about taking that step, right? And making sure that, hey, am I in a place to open myself up? Not just dating casually. I think we had a conversation a couple of episodes ago about what's the phase of relationship or stage of relationship. Because dating casual, are you looking for something serious? Are we talking? But if you're intentional about marriage and settling down, there's sort of like a prerequisite that it's ideal to get into, right? So that means that I have a level of self-awareness. There's some work that I've done, whether that's gotten counseling, through prayer, through personal development, spiritual growth, that type of thing, that will make me open to joining my life with somebody else and them the same way. And I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to waste my time, and I'm not here to waste his time. So all of that other stuff, like hide and go and hide and go seek, and well, he texted me first, so I'm not gonna respond, or she texted me, or she called, or I'm gonna wait 2 hours. You understand? Like, nobody has time for that. But a lot of people are engaged in situations or relationships, and it's this, well, he did this, so I'm gonna do that. No, we gotta come in, hey, all right, this is what I'm looking for, this is what you're looking for.
It's a lot of tit for tat.
It's a lot of tit for tat. Yes. You know, and I've been guilty of that too, right? Like, well, you know, he tried to confirm on the day of, so guess what?
I'm not going.
I'm not going. Right? So yeah, like it's a lot of that type of stuff. Well, oh, he didn't take me to this place. So you have to put all, like, what is important? What is it that you're seeking? For real. Like, we're not here to play games. And so I think when we come into a space like that, we're going to attract a lot more people that's on the same plane. And for a while, we're not going to have people checking for us because we're moving at a different level. But when you do connect with the person that is on that same level with you, wavelength, it makes a world of a difference.
I think I used to, when I was in college at least, it was this thing of, you know, you're texting a girl and everything like that. All right, cool. So if I text her when I got out of class at like 12:30, all right, cool. I'm going to see how long she takes to respond. She takes an hour. All right, bet. I'm going to wait another hour and a half or two. I'm going to text her back. And then you realize how, like, then, you know, you get to like doing a lot of retrospective, you know, thinking. And I'm like, you know how dumb you were? Because had you guys established effective communication, you probably could have talked a lot more throughout the day.
Right.
Covered a lot more topics and probably saved yourself a lot of time. Because, okay, now what a conversation that would have taken, 3 hours, went to go and take 9 because, oh, well, I don't want to come off as too desperate, or I can never double text. I'm so sorry. These days, I'll triple. I'll quadruple. Because my thing is, at the end of the day, like, it's a conversation. And I also text how I talk, right? So, like, I'll say something, send. And then go back again. But people are like, nah, bro, like, you don't have shame. I'm like, where is the shame? Where is the shame in texting someone that I'm trying to have a conversation with?
Yeah.
But I think it also comes with growth.
It does come with growth, yeah.
It comes with growth. What you think a relationship is to look like when you're in college. College gives you a very false sense of reality, especially if you go to college somewhere where, like, you live, like, on campus, or you live over there. Like, you could see this person every single day if you wanted to. Where I went to school, nothing was ever more than 7 minutes from wherever I was living at a certain time, right? So if I want to go see her every given day at 4 p.m. after we're done with classes, I could. But then you now get to the real world, you could go 3 months, 4 months without seeing said person just based on where y'all live, the nature of y'all schedules and stuff like that. So I think, to your point, I think a lot of it has to do with how mature the people within the situation are, you know? But that's my two. I don't know if anyone else wants to say something on that. So now, what do y'all think about how does community work within healing and getting over said situations? Because there's a lot of people who, as soon as something like that happens or something big happens, they isolate. Which, to me, this is my own take, I think makes the situation 10 times worse. Because something happened, and I feel like you should always have one or two people who you can like go to, right, at a given time. So maybe your best friends, your parents, your siblings, whoever. But people's first thing is to isolate. And then now you're already going through something. Now your everything is in here, and like it's, it boils over. Like, how do y'all utilize your community when you're going through things like that? Don't answer all at once.
The worst thing you can ever do to yourself is to isolate yourself when you go through heartbreak. Like you rightly say, you have to have one or two people you can confide in, you can talk to, you can actually just open up your heart to, right? It's very important. Like now, I've been able to build a community within myself, right? And I was very intentional about it. Like this beautiful ladies here sitting close to me. It's been amazing just being around them. So I wanna be in a place where I know for sure that I can actually look up to someone and talk to the person and tell them my problems or whatever it is that I'm going through, right? Because in the world that we're in right now, you cannot isolate yourself. You cannot. So it's very, very important to have one person at least that you can talk to. Somebody you can call at 2 a.m. in the morning and they will answer your call. You have to have that person. That one person is very, very important. That's my take on it. So
Who's that person for you, if you feel comfortable sharing?
I can call my mom at 2 a.m. in the morning and she'll pick up.
Shout
I
out
can
to
call
moms.
a friend of mine as well, and I know for sure that he will pick up, around that time. So yes.
Yeah, community is important. When you're going through those situations, man, and you just want to vent, you got your friends around. They're like, yeah, man, that's wrong, man. Oh my gosh, how could this happen? But also community helps for me, has been helped me to be responsible and take accountability, not just for comfort and to support, but at the same time hold me accountable and saying, okay, sis, we understand, but is there something that you felt like you could have done a little differently moving forward? What could we do differently, etc. So that's very important, because having a cheerleading squad is great, but helping me to grow, when you see the potential within me, or seeing areas where I probably could have done things differently, or areas of weaknesses where I can strengthen, is also important. So I'm grateful and blessed to have solid friendships for years. I can call them at any time. I can shoot them a text. I mean, they've got my back. I've got I have an amazing mom, so she's
Shout out, mom.
love my mom, man. Like that lady is, man, she's everything. But her and some solid family members. So it's important. And church community as well, our spiritual community, and even people in in my professional environment, like they offer support in ways they don't even realize to my personal life, right? And so I think that's important. Sometimes, just being in community at church, you may go, you hear a word or a worship song that can carry you through a season, right? Just the words of the lyrics of the song carry so much meaning, and I know that has helped me a lot. But
There's
being in
nothing like a
community,
good cry during worship, and I've been there, where you're fresh off a breakup, then a song that the choir sings, it just gets you. It's like as if they were right there
No,
with you.
seriously, look,
The
man,
the cry when you cry, that's probably top 5 cries.
Yeah.
Top
be
5
going
crying
through
moments
it.
is the worship right after a breakup.
going
There ain't
through
nothing
it.
will send you closer to God than a breakup. I'm trying to tell you.
Listen, it's hard.
It's the truth though, because when you have nowhere else to run, where you gonna run to? Back to where the person who created you.
But do you think that sometimes we cause our own heartbreak?
Yes. Oh, 10,
Yep.
100 times
Okay.
over. And I think we do it more often than we think.
Mm-hmm.
Because you ever ask a question you know the answer to, but you ask anyways?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, why did I ask that?
Mm-hmm.
There was something that I did recently to my significant other, and I'm just like, why did I say that? and I'm someone that I'm like, I do a lot of like introspective thinking, and I'm like, I could have did this better, I could have did that better, and then you're just like, dang, I brought us to this situation here in place, and I think when you have false expectations of what a relationship is to look like,
That's the
you
word.
give yourself a
Yes.
false reality of what it will look like. And then when it doesn't, you be like, dang, like this is not what I signed up for. But
Right.
in reality,
Yeah.
it is.
Right.
You just were, whether it's an experience or, being delusional, you gave yourself that reality and it's like, oh, dang, now it's not living up. Now you start to resent the other person. And it opens up a can of worms. But to answer your question, yes, we 100% can lead ourselves to heartbreak.
Mm.
I also just wanted to add about the importance of community in a heartbreak. I mean, everybody has said the positive things, but I also kind of want to say the negative things. I can't speak for everyone else, but I feel I am a natural. I love to be in community, but sometimes when you go through a heartbreak, you can feel so much shame.
Mm.
Not necessarily because I did something wrong, or even, let me be fair, even the other person. You just feel like if I was good enough, or you know what I mean, if I was really favored or whatever the situation may be, I wouldn't have to go through this. So sometimes it could just be hard to kind of just admit that to other people
That's
and
good.
to say that. And so like, even though people have their best intention at your best intention at heart, sometimes I don't want to hear other people's opinions and start telling me, oh, pray like this, say like this, you shouldn't have done this. But and it may not be quote unquote bad advice. It just may not be the right advice for me. So sometimes community, sometimes I just want to isolate myself because I don't want to hear I don't want to hear it. Like, I just want to focus on myself growing and learning. But however, I do think that can be very dangerous, and I do think like it's not the best option. I'd rather just hear nonsense and just know that I have people that they're saying it out of love. As long as I know these people are solid believers and that they're saying it out of love, just take it. And then over time, we can just kind of grow together. So I just want to put that in there. Sometimes community is not always going to give you positive outcomes overall, but ultimately it will always be a positive effect. And then I also wanted to say about community and just people and isolating yourself, that, how do I say this nicely?
Say it.
Give me
Rip the
words.
Band-Aid
Like,
off.
how do I say this nicely? Like, there's so many things I can say. Just it's not coming to me. I'll just say pick the right community. Just pick the right community. Make sure that, like what Tatiana was saying earlier about making sure that it's not just people who are going to be your cheerleading squad or tell you positive things or side with you. Making sure that people that will hold you accountable, call you out, and make you into a better version of yourself, and also give you a different perspective. So I would just say make sure you pick the right community. Oh, and I remember what I wanted to say. The last thing I was going to say, sometimes you're not privileged to have a community. Most of us have survived COVID. It's been a few years since then, but I feel like we've all at one time experienced where sometimes you just don't have people around, not by choice. And so sometimes it's just you and God, and you just kind of have to deal with it. So I would just say lean into that as well.
Mm.
Now, in the vein of how do you pick good community, right? So, like, how do you, because you just said something that I really like, where it's make sure to pick good community, because it says, show me your friends, and I'll show you the kind of person you are. So, when you talk about, picking a good community, what do you look for? What are the telltale signs of someone that, I want this person to be part of my community versus not? Because I think sometimes you kind of just go to whoever's around you, but that may not always be. In certain cases, running to your parents may not be the best thing. Why'd you laugh? I'm joking. But sometimes running to your parents is not the thing, or running to your pastor may not be the ideal thing to do. You need someone who can, like, I'm privileged to have a friend who will tell me what I wants to hear to calm me down, and then just berate me what I need to hear. And I'm just like, I needed that. But not, like you said, not everyone. I think community is also a privilege.
It is.
Having community is a privilege. You're not always privileged to have it, but just know having godly community is a privilege. But yeah, how do you go about selecting those to be around you?
I would just say for me, I think the biggest thing is making sure, like I said, if I'm privileged to meet people that I want in my community, is like making sure that we have the same foundation. I personally like people who are different from me, who think differently from me. But it's like, okay, like my foundation is Christ. That may not be the same foundation for everybody else, and that's everybody has free will. But for me, it's like, okay, I know regardless if we are different, we have different backgrounds, they will always kind of hold me to the standard of the word of God, whether I like it or whether they like it or they agree, or it's not about emotions or anything like that. So that's like the number one thing. It's like I know this person when life is good or when life is bad, I know like what their foundation is or what their anchor is. Even if they're angry, I know they can be super, super angry, but I know their limit. So that's the biggest thing for me. And then I just look for people I aspire to be as wonderful and as perfect as I am. You know, like, I mean, what can be better
What
than me?
more can you
I
ask
mean, what
for?
more can you ask for? I mean, when God made me, he said it is finished. But
It is well. Come on now.
However-
Clock that.
however, regardless, there's people who have just different mentalities or different aspects. And I look for that in other people so that when I am faced with tough situations or when I do go through heartbreaks or whatever it may be, they will come with a different perspective, but we ultimately have the same foundation. So that's the way I look at it. And they're not always easy to find, but don't worry, pray and God will provide it. I just
Hallelujah.
Amen.
You're nodding, so I'm assuming you have something to say to that.
I'll pass it over to Dr. China for now.
Wow, finding the community. Yeah, to what Tina was saying, for me, it's like people that their life speaks for themselves, right? So, again, the fruit of values, that's very important. Where are they headed? How do they carry themselves? How do they treat other people? Are they a person of character? Do they have integrity? So that's very important to me. And what is their belief system like? So do they actually believe in God?
Right.
Because in Jesus Christ specifically. So that's important for me. And I'm blessed to have wonderful people in my community who offer different perspectives. And certain situations, there's people who I know I may go to first, right? I may get to the other people, but there's some people like I know they're a lot more objective about certain things. Or some people maybe from the angle that I feel like they could relate and identify with, they'll bring in a fresh perspective that's timely, right? And so I can't express that enough. Like you said, it is a privilege, it's an honor, and manage those relationships. That's so important. And so it's building that relational equity in being in community, not just taking, but also reciprocating back towards a community. That's important. Not just expecting people to be there for you in your times of crisis or whenever you have a situation going on, but also showing up for them as well.
Do y'all think you guys are the friends that you would want to have?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a dope friend. And I say that with my chest.
Full time.
I'm a dope.
Solid.
Yep.
And that is reflective of the people that I have around me and the time. And it's not saying that time you overlook certain things, but it's the quantity and the quality of it.
Yes.
Not just the quantity, but the quality of friendships or relationships in my life.
Anyone else? Do you feel like you're the
I mean, to
kind of
be
friend?
my friend is a blessing. I can tell you that.
Sorry to you.
All day, it's a
Yes.
blessing. I promise you that. And
Are you taking applications for new friends?
so I want to be around people that I can learn from. Like for me, I like good things. I like to invest a lot. So when it comes to friendship, love, money, so if I'm with you, if you're with me, we're gonna be talking about stock market. We're gonna be buying and trading stocks. I want to hear your success story, and I want you to hear. I'm not gonna hide my success story from you, and I want to know how you think. I want to know if you love God. I want to know if you will be there for me, because I know for sure that I'm always there for everybody. So are you going to be there for me as well? So for me, I'm very, very intentional now with the community that I, find myself in. I I'm trying to
Oh,
hold
it's a
back.
podcast. Be free. Say what you wanna say. What you wanna say.
I don't want to be around toxic people.
Yeah, that goes
You
without
know,
saying.
yeah. So,
However, certain toxic people make life fun.
No, it depends,
Explain.
man.
depends.
Explain
No, it
yourself.
depends.
Oh, he's very
no,
offensive.
no. It depends.
No.
No,
No, it does depend.
Okay,
but
okay. Let's hear in what instance would a toxic person make life fun? I
because they keep you on your toes.
by
I ain't got time
stressing
for
you
that
out.
drama. I ain't got time for
No, so the thing
No, I
is,
ain't
it's
got
not.
time-
I'm
I ain't
not.
got
I'm
time
not
for
just talking
Bruh.
about the confines of relationship.
no, I know.
I'm just
yeah.
talking about in general. Because like as an observant person, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that person is my friend, right? But in the sense of me observing, I can tell this is a toxic person. Some of the situations they find themselves in are actually very laughable, which make my life fun. So like from an observant standpoint, I'm like, oh wow, that was
So
funny.
you're using them.
I'm not using them. No, you're living your life. I'm just observing, and however I react,
But
I
are you
react.
in community with this person,
Exactly.
right? So like it. So
I
are you
don't- I
talking
wouldn't
about
say,
somebody
okay.
on TV? Because there's plenty of toxic stuff we see online,
For
right?
sure.
And their craziness makes us laugh, but I don't have to go to lunch with them. You know what I'm saying? Like
No,
I
for
don't have
sure.
to do life with them. So
Okay, I wouldn't
let's
say
break-
they're just downright toxic individuals. I think there's people who are good people who have toxic sides to them.
Yeah.
That I'm like, okay, like I can understand why, because I have a friend who's very like red pill, blue pill kind of person, right? Alpha male versus beta male. And I'm just like, okay, to a certain extent, I understand where you're coming from. But then I think there's also things to learn from both parties, right? So he can learn something from me, and then I can learn something from him. Where it's like things I may have overlooked when it comes to just living life, and then things where he can learn from me. So I don't think, excuse me, I write off people who have toxic traits. I think everybody has a toxic trait.
Yeah, we all
so,
have toxic traits.
So I think that goes without saying. But I think they, in certain cases, can make things. I don't know, like it's very finicky. I will say, but having people like that give you a look into how other people think, and sometimes you need that. Maybe
So,
that's
To
a
me,
way
I
to put
think
it.
that's a. I wouldn't necessarily say that's a toxic person. I'm thinking of a situation right now of a friend, former friend,
Ooh.
that was. I mean, one of the most funniest people that you would ever meet. I mean, just could, come in the room and has everybody laughing. So they were very gregarious, had a big personality, energy, wonderful, right? But then on the flip side, in doing life with that person and being in community, I mean, just planting seeds of division and planting seeds of confusion, right? So you had to really be careful how you moved with this individual. And so, yeah, from one side, it was like, man, if we're going somewhere, hey, we want her with us because she's going to be the life of the party. She's going to get things going. But at the same time, is that at what price, right? At what cost? So the closer the person is to you and bringing their toxic energy, it's going to be it could be very detrimental. And eventually it affected a lot of people around us to the point where they are no longer associated to the community because of just how dangerous they became. So for me, that I have a very real example, but it's different than having an opinion that's controversial. But if that person has a character, like they're still a good person, they have good qualities about themselves, they just, they have crazy opinions about what's going on in the world, and it makes for interesting debate. That's a little different.
Fair. Now, one thing you talked about earlier was vulnerability, and a lot of guys, myself included, struggle sometimes with being vulnerable, letting down that wall. So, as a woman or women in you guys' case, how do you guys, make it comfortable for your significant other to express themselves? Because my first thing, I can't lie to you, is suppression. Suppress the feeling. In some cases, isolate, get over it, and then keep pushing. But I've also been in cases where doing that so many times just leads to an impending explosion, and it may not even be like I could be dealing with something completely unrelated, but then you do like something so minuscule and I just unleash. You know what I'm saying? How do you guys make it comfortable for guys to be vulnerable or, make sure that it's a safe space for him?
I can go. I would just say I think it depends on the person, and honestly, I think how long you've known the person that really does matter. But I guess in a few instances for me, it's just like I mentioned earlier, I really do believe I have the gift of communication. So I just try to be as honest and as vulnerable as with reason, of course, but with honest and vulnerable, I just kind of lead by example is what I'm trying to say. I'm honest, I'm vulnerable. I just kind of let them know like this is who I am, this is what I'm about, and I feel like over time, as they're around me, as they see how I handle their information, the way I walk and I move, they can tell like I'm a safe place. But at the end of the day, I can't make anybody share what they don't want to share. I can't make someone feel comfortable. It's up to them. But I think it's just by leading by example, and just making sure like I communicate. Because sometimes people tell me I have a soft voice, but people tell me I can come off a bit crass. I was talking to a friend earlier today.
Crass.
That's the
Define it, because I don't know.
It could be from even though I grew up here, I'm very American. It could be my cultural heritage. They don't know how to say things with grace sometimes, with
so
blunt, yes, class, everything like that. So sometimes when I'm really, really myself, I'm really passionate about something, I may come across the same way. So anyway, the point I'm trying to make is just that I've just learned to communicate. So sometimes I may say something or I may do something and I can tell somebody, like I'm very observant, I can tell somebody's feeling a type of way or their tone changes or they start acting funny. I was like, oh, hey, I noticed that you seem a bit uncomfortable. Is everything okay? They may not say anything. And then maybe like a week later, they may say, okay, actually, this made me feel X, Y, Z. Or I'm like, oh, you seem kind of bit like testy or angry after we left so-and-so place. Did something I do offend you? People always say like, you can be so annoying. Why are you always picking at everything? But I've learned as I've gotten older with friendships or even with romantic relationships, those things do matter. Some people will just be like, you're doing too much, but I've learned that every little thing matters and people are carrying their own trauma, their own things, and it's better to be overly cautious. So for me, I feel like I can help people or men feel more comfortable just by overly communicating, just kind of communicating. I'm noticing X, Y, Z. Is this bothering you? Some may open up immediately, some later, or sometimes it's nothing at all and I'm just annoying them. But at least I put it out there. So that's what I do. Did that make sense?
Yes, you said something. You said that you can't make anyone feel more comfortable than they are. Or you said something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I would beg to differ.
How?
Reason I say that is because what you do, someone's comfortability is sometimes a response of what you do, what you're doing in the moment, how you've done things in the past, right? So I think it's, if you, like, I'm an observant person, so like if I know I'm doing something and I'm like, okay, this person always reacts negatively towards this one thing, I'll stop doing that because I'm actively trying to make whatever we have going on a safe space for them. So I think in that sense is you can make someone feel more comfortable than how they already are.
I get what you're saying, and I agree. But I think for me, you're also coming from the perspective that you are self-aware and that you're observant. I said I believe I am observant as well, but I'm sure there's still some things that I will do, or there's ways I come across that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
So like I could feel like, oh, I'm doing the best. I'm leading by example. I'm communicating, and I'm doing everything in my power to make this person feel comfortable. But there may be some unconscious things, or there may be some things about myself that I am not aware of that it's making that person. That's what I meant by that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do y'all do to make men feel more being okay with being vulnerable?
Osas.
I like to spoil my man.
I know that's right. Ladies.
What's spoiling?
Look at the
When
camera.
I go,
Say it
let
again.
me tell you, okay? When you go out to the mall to shop for yourself, make sure you're shopping for your man as well.
Hello.
Okay? If your man comes to the house to say hi to you or to spend some time with you, cook for him.
Hello.
Okay?
Right on, Pasta.
Do that. It's very important.
That's right.
Is he my husband?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold
what'd you
on.
say?
Wait,
What'd you say?
She said, "Is he my
Oh, I
husband?"
shouldn't say nothing.
it-
Can we
it does
cut
not
that
matter.
part? Oh,
No,
God.
we ain't cut nothing out.
No, I don't think it's not. It's treat your man, but sometimes it's like, are we married yet? What do you want from me? Like
Y'all
how
just
much?
opened
You
up
get
a
what I'm
can
trying
of
to
worms.
There's
Tina.
boundaries. Once I get that ring, there's different levels of the kind of things, the kind of access, and the kind of things you're gonna get. I buy gifts. I can cook you a
Not
meal,
for me.
but not every day. Some people morning,
It
I
doesn't
promise
have to
they're
be
packaging
every
their
day.
breakfast, their
I mean,
lunch, their dinner,
not
they're
every
making
day.
their
No,
bed,
not
they're ironing
every
their
day.
clothes,
No,
they're folding
sweetheart,
and putting out.
Not every day. But so
Some days PB&J, some day oxtails. You know,
I mean,
there's levels to it.
I like to cook anyway.
But how
How come a man come to
Every
my
day?
house and then he's
That's
not?
not. Oh no, that's fine. Every day, three
No,
times a day.
he's not gonna come to my house every day because I'm not living with him. So whenever he comes to my house to see me, I will cook for him.
Yes, of course.
Period.
Period.
And if I'm going out to shop for myself, I will shop for my man as well. But one
Every
thing
day?
I would say though,
Every time.
man, do not take it for granted.
That's true.
Okay?
That's
For
very
some of you, you do that. Don't take it for granted now. 'Cause I'll pull back. So, but jokes apart, I think that I think it's very important to make your man comfortable. You know, create a safe space for him to be comfortable with you.
Absolutely. He's valuable too.
So let me ask. So to Osas's point, Ayo, as a man, great treatment, sis. I mean,
I'm
hats
talking about-
off to you.
I mean,
This great treatment. So my question is, for you hearing that as a man, right? Is that enough to make you comfortable?
No.
To be vulnerable.
separate.
No.
To be vulnerable. To be vulnerable. Because, and I think it's amazing what you said. I love it and I applaud it, sister. I mean, I
Same.
think everything was limited, but I'm with it. But is that enough though to create that emotional vulnerability, even in dating? And you're saying no.
I would say before the first bite, no. If the food real good, look, we could talk. No, I'm joking. But I would say no because that's a great starting point. Like, okay, I feel like I could be at ease. Like,
Physically at least.
Yeah, I'm physically at ease, but at the same time, just because they always say, "Oh, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach." Yeah, here and there, but through and through, I don't know, like. Just because you can cook for me, just because you treat me, you wine and dine me. Again, ladies, wine and dine your men. It goes a long way. Doesn't mean that I feel like I can have vulnerable conversations with you.
That's fair.
So we can eat. I break bread with anybody. Let's break bread, man.
And
But at the end of the day, oh, you want me to talk about me to you? For why? Because you cooked for me?
right.
No. You know, I don't think it works that way. I think
No.
it's it puts people at ease. So when you put people at ease, they're more likely to just open up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like food is something that is very communal, right? So like someone makes some oxtails with mac and cheese and whatnot. I'm quite hungry right now, guys, if you can't tell. But someone does that, it can remind you of like home, right? Like, oh, how your mom used to cook for you, or how, you know, you would have Sunday after church Sunday lunches and stuff like that. And then that can lead to a vulnerable conversation. But I don't think doing that gives me the assurance that I can trust somebody. Yeah, I just think to answer your question plainly, no. But it goes a long way.
It does.
It goes a very long way. Guys, don't think because she can cook panded yama and whatever, she's automatically the person for you. But I think a lot of guys want to be, in a sense, taken care of in that aspect because a lot of guys just feel like they're being used for others. So finding someone who is willing to do that for them will put them at a place of, oh, okay, like this person may not be like the rest of them, where all they're expecting is to. A lot of guys have the mindset of, oh, I'm just here to be taken from, not necessarily given to.
I would say, in my experience and previous experiences, and what has been shared with me from guys, that they felt comfortable and at a sense of safety and I think it was like some people would try to like share a little bit at a time to kind of see, okay, I
Test the
said
waters.
this and
Yeah.
then, okay, how did she take it? And I shared that, how did she take it? And for me, it's just about hearing the person out, like being non-judgmental, not having a reaction like, "Oh my gosh, you did what?" Because that could give off like, "Oh, you're judging," or making the person feel worse than
about the
situation.
Yeah.
Just having like a listening ear, and I think that goes a long way, and affirming the person, affirming the partner, and letting them know, hey, like, you are enough.
Yeah.
Because again, I'm not a man, but just from what I understand, it's like, and you just said it, it's about giving, it's about what can I prove, it's about what can I do. But just letting the person know that you're enough. Like, if you did nothing else, like, just know that you're enough. And affirming the person, I think that goes a long way. But for some people, they may see that as, oh, well, why are you trying to boost the guy's ego? It's not
Yeah.
about boosting the person's ego. It's just like encouraging the individual. And I think that goes a long way from women, that oftentimes we don't realize the impact of it because we're always waiting to receive and to be pampered and to do this and to do that. But when we show the man some attention, whether it's through shopping and cooking, but also listening to things that he may say that matter to him, and not just brushing it off or like, oh, that's
Right.
nothing. Like, if the man just said like what his dream was, and you're like, anyways, moving on. That
You'll
was
never hear from me
a
again.
dismissal. And he may not say, some people may not say it, but you just dismiss the person,
Yeah.
right? And so when we, show interest and show, the person that we value them, I think that can help to create that safe space for men. That's from my experiences.
No,
So.
I just want to also we talked about how to make men feel comfortable and vulnerable, but also as a man, like, how do you think you, or maybe men that you know, create a safe space for a woman to be vulnerable and to feel safe? I think is a better way of saying it. Because I know a lot of gossip. I know men who are, people say woman gossip, men gossip, and they will tell their friends, and they'll take everything that you tell them in confidence and do nonsense. So how do you create that
agree.
safe environment for your significant other, or even your sisters, or your, you know what I mean, like your
Yeah.
female friends?
I listen, and then I listen some more, and then I listen some more, and then I let them, like, it kind of is the same answer that Tatiana gave to my question, where it's like I don't react immediately. I don't, make it bigger than what it already is. Like, if they're going through something, and sometimes if I know that I'm trying to actively do that, I will share something to make them open up, make them comfortable with,
Right.
oh, we're having a very serious conversation about something. All right, cool. Then we'll proceed. And I think the deeper the conversation, the more the trust level goes up. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust, I think trust and levels of trust and vulnerability are very synonymous, right? The more I trust you, likelihood, the more vulnerable I'll be with you. So I think it's a matter of listening more than anything and making them feel like it's okay to share. Like, you can say whatever. And I'm naturally someone who likes to fix the problem, right? So I also will ask, oh, can I like say something towards this? If you say yes, then I'll share it. If you say no, then I won't. Like, I'll let it, because I know sometimes it's not necessarily about fixing the problem right there and there, but sometimes women just need a listening ear, and sometimes coming to your significant other is your first thing, and then you go to your girls, you go to your parents, you go to whoever. But yeah, I don't think it's rocket science of how to make someone feel comfortable. I think there's different paths, but I think the main thing is making sure that you can affirm them that, hey, like, you're not weird, or you're not, crazy for thinking like this, and letting them, giving them the space to share.
And to be honest, right? Even with all the cooking and the shopping for my man, there has to be a balance at the end of the day.
Yeah, for
regardless.
sure.
There has to be a balance. And what is more important is to create that safe space for your man, right? To be comfortable with you. So active listening is very important as well in a relationship, right? So I want you to listen to me just the way I'll listen to you as well.
For sure.
Because most men these days, they feel right in their own wrong. They like that's what I've been experiencing, like literally all my life, feeling very, very right in your own wrong. So you have to own up to your responsibilities. You have to like. Is that too much to ask?
Accountability goes a
Yes.
very long way.
So
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Before we go, we originally talked about heartbreak, but this is something I've experienced. I just want to quickly ask you guys: have you guys ever experienced heartbreak in your relationship with God? The reason I'm saying this, it affects every relationship, or just heartbreak in the Christian community. Because sometimes I'm like, God, I thought I was supposed to have a relationship with you, but I feel like you disappointed me. But I'm not supposed to say that because God will never ever. I felt like you let me down. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and so therefore, why should I even focus on like relationships with other people, even if my God can't? And I know this sounds blasphemous. I love you, Lord, and I'm not saying that, but I've experienced heartbreak in my own relationship with God, and it poured out into other things. And like what you were saying about the importance of community and how you heal from that. Do you guys have any examples, or have you ever experienced it, or you feel like we can never be heartbroken with God?
If your relationship with God is not where it needs to be, it's telling. Like it's telling in all your other ones. If you feel estranged or far from God, He didn't move, you did, right?
Okay.
And I think, yes, I've experienced it in the form of like church hurt, where like, God, how is it that the place I'm supposed to come and be not judged or not this or, you know, whatever the case may be, is where I'm seeing it the most. Like the people that are supposed to be representations of you are not representing you and stuff like that. And it got to a point where I was like, I'm never coming back here. I'm never like, y'all will, like, I'm pretty sure I said it to people, so like, y'all will never see me again. And it got to that point and I was like, Lord, like, you know when you feel like crying, but you don't have you're too tired to cry real tears, so you just cry them on the inside. And those ones hurt more. Because, like, you're just, like, such in a place where it's, like, you felt betrayed. You felt, like, taken advantage of and stuff like that. And, yeah, so I've been there. And I think it definitely got to my other relationships where I was less patient with people.
Yeah.
I was more reactive, like, off rip. So I was, like it was a very dark time, I would say. Like, I was very borderline depressed because I was like, dang, like, the place where I'm supposed to feel kept, I'm not. Who can I trust now? You know? So I definitely have, but I think taking it day by day and understanding that you're a son, you're a daughter before you're anything else of God, and understanding the rights you have with that helped me come back to it.
can I just say one thing, just one more thing? So remember Jesus, right? He was heartbroken. You know why? Because God was quiet on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was quiet on him. So remember when he, so God had the power and the authority to save Jesus from that cross, right? But he didn't. He was quiet for a reason, because he knew Jesus was going to die for our justification, right? So when God is quiet, when we feel like we are heartbroken, when God is quiet, it's for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
It's for a reason. I would say the key word is just wait on him, and while you're waiting on him, serve.
Don't give up.
Don't give up. That's it.
I saw a quote from this pastor, Femi Lazarus. How do I put it? He said, what was it? It was, don't give up. Oh. If you give up, they will mock you. If you give up, they'll say, we always knew it. Mm-hmm. Well, this camera, look at me as I'm looking at you. Don't give up. Oh. If you give up, they will mock you. And the thing is, I was really at a point. This was like last week. I was going through it. And I was really like I was tired of being tired about different situations in life. And I was just like, I had a conversation with someone and they were like, yeah, you know, try this, try that. I did, and then I got some news, didn't work out. And I was really borderline just like about to like, throw caution to the wind. And then I saw the post. I said, well, Thanks. Because now I can't throw caution to the wind. Now I can't give up. Which in turn you shouldn't. Don't give up hope.
Yeah.
If there's one thing you don't do, don't give up hope. But yeah, sometimes God will speak to you in the most unconventional of ways. Literally, I did not expect to see the post. And then now Instagram has this thing where you can repost things. And then I'm talking about that thing has caught fire. It's like, don't give up. But it's like one of those things, you know, in African community where it's like they tell you to do something. They tell you not to do something by telling you to do it. You say, if you like, eat. If you like, don't eat. But it's like, wait, no, what do I do? They say, no, eat. But you know that eat is telling you if you touch that food. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I needed that. And it was like, okay, all right, I'm not going to give up. But yeah, that was I had to just call back to that.
So to your question, Tinu, about heartbreak with God, yeah, I've had disappointments with God. I wouldn't say that. Yeah, I've been angry at God, maybe at some of the stuff that He allowed, you know, or things I'm like, Lord, for real, for real. Or if I had a hope towards something or a prayer towards something and it did not manifest in the way I thought, or maybe it was delayed, et cetera, et cetera. And so the disappointment came in that. But one of the things that grief taught me years ago, I lost 2 family members within 2 months' time. Several years ago, very, very devastating situation in my life. I had to accept and come to the fact that even though this is obvious, right? I didn't bring myself to this earth. Yeah. I have no control. And from the time that I'm born until the time that I depart, I have no control. And because of that, a lot of us find ourselves trying to control, right? Because we technically don't have control. And the truth of God's word of Him being sovereign, and that means that He allows things to happen. He supersedes everything. He's over everything. Yep. He's governing it all. And He has full authority, power, and control that I don't have. And so I had to rest in the truth of, okay, God, you're God and I'm not. And I am going to take my anger to you because you can handle it. And one of the scriptures in the Bible where Job was questioning God, like asking God, God came back, where were you when I was laying the foundations of the earth? Where were you when I was doing, it's like, whoa, God read Job, okay? So for me, it's like, I just had to accept that truth that His ways are higher, His thoughts are higher. I may not like it, and I can tell Him that because I have that relationship. I'm like, Lord, I didn't really like that. I didn't appreciate that. Or I'm heartbroken, I'm disappointed, but I trust you. And I know that you're working it out, even though I don't see it. There's a guy in the Bible, he went to Jesus and he said, Lord, help my unbelief. Yeah. And at times I'm like, God, help my unbelief. You know? And so that's what gives me solace in those moments because he's God and I'm not. Yep. And I just put that back on Him instead of me trying to, wallow in my despair or in my disappointment, because whether I do that or not, the situation is still the same. So am I going to be better because of it or be bitter? And that's a question I had to ask myself back in 2009 when I lost those 2 family members, significant family members, 2 months apart. Am I going to be better or bitter? Because I could see myself wallowing and saying, woe is me. Time is going to go by anyway. So I might as well, keep going and not give up. Yeah.
Don't give up. If you give up, they will say,
it's true.
They will mock you.
It's true. But I did want to ask this. So hopefully we have a few more minutes. In light of the conversation with heartbreak and community, I've seen people drop all their friends as soon as they get into a relationship.
Say again?
They drop their friends or cut all ties off as soon as they get into a relationship because they're all about this new relationship, right? And when stuff hits the fan,
you ain't got nobody else to run to.
They don't have anybody else to run to. And for me, it's like, don't lose your friends over a relationship, especially good people in your life. Your partner cannot be everything to you. It's just not possible. You still need those healthy friendships and relationships in your life that's going to pour into you. And your partner's just there to fulfill, their role. But we be trying to put everything on one person. It's just not possible. I mean, what y'all think about that? Shall we drop everybody when,
Nope.
or for me, I'm of the liking of, hey, we doing community together. I have my community with me and my partner. We're moving forward. I can't say, nah, no friends. And
The one thing I
can't do
would
that.
despise heavily is not having friends once I get married. Right? Is because especially like also other married couple friends where like, oh, we can relay off of each other. Like we can bounce off of each other. But then also I think you're doing yourself more of a disservice than you are a service by cutting off people, because the people who I consider my friends now are people who've been friends with me for ages, right? Like on my way here, I was on a FaceTime call with 4 of my friends from college, and 2 of those guys I've known. Oh, all of them actually I've known since like high school, right? I graduated 17, so I'm coming up on 10 years post grad. But then it's like, is me cutting these people off gonna do more good for me than bad for me, right? And I think if you're so quick to do what you said in terms of cutting everybody else and making your partner everything for you, you're going to wear that person out.
Absolutely.
Like they're not God. The only person who can encompass all the roles that you need in life is the one who created you, right? So I think you doing that, I always tell my girlfriend, I'm like, look, go out with your friends, go have fun, because you know what I'm saying? Like they were there before me. So it technically is wrong also for me to be like, oh yeah, you have to cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like that has never made sense to me, and I see a lot of people do it, and I think it's very unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
I want to add to that, and I 100% agree. But I have 2 things to say. One, we can say, oh, never, never, never keep your friends. But in reality, I would say at least 50% of people do it. One. But I would say the second thing is, what if you genuinely just don't care for your partner's friends? Like, and that goes vice versa. Because my thing is, even if I don't care for them, as long as they're respectable people, it doesn't matter. Does that make any sense? Because like you said, I am not their God. I don't want to be their everything. And like all relationships are important. I am the number one priority, but I am not the only priority in that person's life. That's like my mentality. But sometimes I wonder, what if you just don't like them? What if you just want them all to yourself and you just don't like anybody else? What are we supposed to do? Like,
That's
that's never happened before.
No,
You just sometimes you just feel that person's too loud. Nothing's really wrong with their character. They're just too loud. I don't want my man near that person anymore. But the truth is, I can't control him because I am not God. So what am I? You know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like, because like I said, I know some people say, "Oh, keep your friends," but the truth is, 50% men and women, they'll say keep your friends, but it's just a name only. It's just a name only.
Oh no, Tina.
Those are the people. Those are the experiences I've seen. Those are the
Future
experiences I've
husband,
seen.
future husband,
My
listen
friend,
to
I
me.
have like I'm talking
So
about, and they're wonderful, but it's,
they dropped you off, or like
they didn't.
what?
Well,
Like, are
this
you
is
talking about?
going to be posted, right? They didn't
Yeah,
drop
it's gonna be
me.
posted.
They didn't drop me off, but it's
like,
like
did they get married or did they get into a relationship and say, "Hey, we're no longer"? Like, what's your experience?
I think it's different people, but I would just say they didn't necessarily officially drop me off, or not just me, other people. It's just more like it just became face value. Like, hi, how are you? But I don't know how to explain it.
I think friendships also change. Like the
Absolutely.
access that you have, or the access that my friends have to me now, is going to be significantly different once I'm married. The access that I have to them now, I've already seen it. Like, it happens to be that all 4 of us in our little group are all in relationships right now, right? The access that I once had to them is no longer there. Why? Because there's someone of a higher
Right.
priority. And that level is also going to change once they...
But that's not. I'm sorry. Finish.
It's going to change once they get married, and you have to reason it like, okay, like, they're not necessarily... Well, I don't know your situation, but they're not... I don't think the first thing is... I don't know. Like, I think it just changes. Like, so as life changes, the access you have to those people also change. So I don't think I didn't never thought to myself, oh dang, like Steven's not talking to me as much as he used to, or this, that, and the third. Like I just like, okay, like I get it. Like you're in a relationship, that person's part of it, you have work. Like when we were in school, I lived with them. I saw them every day. I wanted to not see them from some days, but now it's okay. Now the moments that we do get to talk or like hang out at length, I cherish those, now more than I did in the past.
No, absolutely. I 100% agree. I want to clarify. It's not, of course, relationships change. Or it's not, I can't explain it, but it's not about, oh, I don't get to speak to this person all the time or they don't tell me all their stuff. It's more like, what is the basis of a friend if this is, God forbid, your brother died and I don't know? Does that make any sense? It's not about you being married or not. Does that make sense? It's almost like you just want someone to take a picture with and move on. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what is, guys, I can't, just cut this out. I'm done. I can't explain it. I need time to point. Am I making sense?
No, I think you are.
There's a certain, it's not about like
but it's more like it sounds like a very drastic situation. So then I would ask, what was a relationship before, let's say the person got married? Is it that drastic where, hey, y'all were buddy tight, not you specifically, but were the people like super tight and then all of a sudden they got married and then there's a shift, like you never hear from the person or is that what you're referring to?
No, it wasn't like a drastic shift. It's just like, let's cut it. I can't.
Okay.
I can't.
I think Osas, you want to, Osas, you want to say, because you had something you were going to say.
No, I was just talking to my future husband.
Okay. Go ahead, girl. Talk to
Say, feel free.
Yeah.
Please, my future husband, I'm here waiting for you. So
that's right.
when you find me, right, I'm not asking you to throw your friends away, but you can keep them. But make sure that I'm your number one, okay?
Of course.
Ciao.
Wow. Ciao is for real. To end on a lighter note, I feel like we got very riled up there. But for great conversation, we're going to play this or that real quick and we're going to get out of here. So I'm going to ask you a question. Just say one or the other option. All right? Dinner dates or movie night?
Dinner.
Movie.
Really? You like to cook. Okay. Texting all day or long phone calls?
Long phone calls.
Wow, y'all don't like the value of texting. Vacation in the mountains or on the beach? I feel like
Beach.
that's double dates or just y'all two?
Mountains.
It depends
Wait,
who the
hold on,
it
hold on,
depends
hold
who
on,
the
hold
couple is. The double date depends who the couple is.
I said double dates or just the two of y'all?
Just the two of
Just
us.
the two.
I'll do
the
double
two
two.
of us.
Double date.
We can make it. Okay, so okay, PDA in public or saving affection for private?
Private.
PDA.
Private.
Oh wow, the answers you're giving are very off from what I thought. Cooking together or ordering takeout?
Cooking
together.
Well, I would assume you're opposite because you did enjoy them.
Takeout.
All right, last one. Oh well, where is it? Road trips or taking a flight somewhere?
Road trips.
Because you're not the one driving. Anyways.
Flight.
A flight.
Why does it take y'all so long? A flight is the obvious answer. I'm sorry. Especially as the guy.
I mean, I don't like flying.
Depends where we're
there's so
going.
much that goes in.
A lot of it depends. I could go
ain't
either
driving.
one.
You see,
I
that's
am
the
not-
problem.
No, but I mean, there's so much communication that happens on a road trip. But then you could just hold hands and cuddle and like talk on the plane.
Well, listen, turbulence.
What
man,
can I do in the plane?
During
What can I do
turbulence,
in the car? I can't do in the plane.
Exactly.
I need somebody to hold on
Because
to
you need to be
during
focused on the
turbulence.
road. Like on the plane, we can just focus on talking and talk about
You
where
can
we're
do that while
going.
driving too.
You need to be focusing on the roads. Roads.
No, I can hold your hands while you're driving.
It's not the same. I said a flight, okay? But a road trip will be more intimate. I don't know. See, it took me a while.
Put me on a flight. I don't know what y'all talking about.
What are you sleeping or talking?
What?
On the flight. Are you sleeping or talking?
Depends how long the flight is. If we're flying like
Yeah.
6 hours, first 2, you got me. The last 4, I'm out. And well, no, next 3, I'm out. And then that hour before we land, hey, how are you? Nice of you to join us. That's me, yeah. I need to sleep. Funny enough, Sometimes I can't sleep on planes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust people for real. So if I'm asleep and someone bump me, please don't come and use me to say things I don't mean to say. So I probably will find a movie to watch.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was a very, very fun extended episode of the Spark Podcast. If you like it, which if you don't, your problem is not between us, it's between you and God. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And yeah, any closing remarks? All right, no closing remarks. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.